What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
The Jumeira Rotana, Dubai. A place that promised the world but delivered only dirt and despair. As I sit here, surrounded by the faint scent of stale cigarettes and yesterday's regret, I am reminded of the countless ways this establishment fell short of my lofty expectations. I recall the day I arrived, my heart full of hope and excitement, only to be met with a room that reeked of mediocrity. The furniture, old and worn, seemed to sag under the weight of its own inadequacy. The view, a miserable excuse for a panorama, gazed out upon a drab, uninviting landscape that seemed to mirror the hotel's own lack of enthusiasm. But, I thought to myself, perhaps the room is not a reflection of the service. Oh, how wrong I was. The staff, seemingly trained in the art of indifference, moved with all the urgency of a sloth on Valium. When I requested a simple amenity, like a chair to accompany my work desk, I was met with a shrug and a muttered promise to look into it. The Wi-Fi, a crucial component of any modern stay, was as finicky as a toddler's tantrum, refusing to connect with a consistency that would put a kindergartner's attention span to shame. And then, there was the food. Oh, the food. A culinary abomination that would have made even the most iron-stomached of individuals weep with despair. The buffet, a laughable excuse for a spread, offered a paltry selection of congealed, flavorless dishes that seemed to have been crafted by a team of apathetic culinary students. The beef steak, a dish that promised so much but delivered only a tasteless, rubbery slab of disappointment. And don't even get me started on the fresh fruit, a term that must have been coined by a comedian, for it was anything but fresh. But what truly broke my heart was the blatant disregard for the well-being of its patrons. The non-smoking rooms, a joke, reeked of the acrid stench of cigarettes, a constant reminder that my health and comfort were mere afterthoughts to the hotel's management. And the scam, oh, the scam. The room, booked under the guise of a package deal, turned out to be a clever ruse to part me from my hard-earned cash, with nary a refund in sight. As I sit here, surrounded by the detritus of broken dreams, I am reminded of the countless ways the Jumeira Rotana, Dubai failed to meet even the most basic of expectations. It is a place that seems to thrive on the misery of its patrons, a monument to the power of apathy and greed. And to you, dear reader, I ask, have you, too, fallen prey to the siren song of this establishment's false promises? Share your stories with me, and together, let us expose the Jumeira Rotana, Dubai for the fraud that it is. But for now, I shall remain, stuck in this purgatory of disappointment, forced to relive the traumatic memories of my stay at the Jumeira Rotana, Dubai. A place that promised the world but delivered only heartache and disillusionment. The landscape of businesses surrounding the Jumeira Rotana, Dubai. It's a disheartening picture, frankly. A sense of weary resignation settles over me as I attempt to articulate the experience. It's not outright bad, not consistently. It's compromised. A persistent undercurrent of disappointment. It feels as though the relentless pursuit of profit has eroded any genuine desire to offer a pleasant experience. These aren't establishments aiming for excellence, they're aiming for just enough to extract maximum value. A feeling of being subtly, constantly, taken advantage of permeates the area. Let's begin. The sheer scale of places like the Dubai Mall is overwhelming, a testament to ambition and excess. But this ambition seems to have come at the cost of basic human consideration. People spoke of navigating a labyrinth, of parking being a torment. It's not merely an inconvenience, it's designed to exhaust you, to make you more susceptible to impulse purchases. The mall doesn't want you to enjoy the process of shopping, it wants to break you down and then offer you a momentary reprieve in the form of consumer goods. Then there's the incident with the security guard, refusing access to a pregnant woman. The rigidity, the absolute lack of empathy. It speaks volumes about the prevailing attitude. It's not about safety or protocol, it's about control. A sickening thought crawls into my mind, how many similar instances occur, unreported, unseen? The mall itself, while aesthetically impressive, feels less like a shopping destination and more like a carefully constructed cage. The complaints regarding taxi location and discriminatory practices, Filipinos being ignored while others receive preferential treatment, further cement this bleak outlook. It's a subtle but insidious form of dehumanization, and it's disturbing. It suggests a hierarchy of worth, based on perceived status. The constant mention of inflated prices and unhelpful staff simply adds insult to injury. You expect a certain level of extravagance in Dubai, but this feels less like luxury and more like exploitation. Even the smallest things, finding a taxi, become a battle. Then you have establishments centered around pampering, such as SensAsia Urban Spa The expectation is tranquility, rejuvenation. What people report, however, is judgment. They're scrutinized for not spending enough, for the condition of their skin. This isn't a sanctuary, it's an interrogation. The reports of sick therapists coughing during massages. It's deeply unsettling. A place dedicated to wellness should prioritize hygiene and client safety, not expose them to illness. The slow response to inquiries, the dismissive attitude toward feedback, it paints a picture of apathy, a place that's resting on past reputation rather than striving for genuine quality. A disturbing trend appears, a disregard for basic human decency, and a prioritization of profit over well-being. It feels as if they've forgotten the core principle of hospitality. Ravi Restaurant Dubai. A place seemingly revered, but the reality, according to those who've recently visited, is far from glorious. Tales of food theft, of waiters attempting to use personal ATMs, of blatant disregard for hygiene, a fly in the lassi, a cockroach near the table. It's appalling. The complaints about the food quality itself, tasteless, oily, are concerning, but the allegations of theft and the unsanitary conditions are truly unforgivable. It's a betrayal of trust, a blatant disregard for customer well-being. To hear stories of staff attitude and the lack of parking, it's as if they're daring you to complain, confident that their reputation will shield them from consequences. It feels like a place that has lost its way, resting on past glories while allowing standards to plummet. The mention of Adidas collaboration feels ironic. A stain on an otherwise reputable brand. Common grounds, JBR, attempts to project a trendy, Instagrammable aesthetic, but beneath the surface lies a consistent pattern of poor service and blatant overcharging. Dirty cups, diluted coffee, rude staff. It's a catalog of failings. The reports of being charged extra for bread, of bills being presented before food arrives, it's a deliberate attempt to create a sense of unease, to discourage questioning. The blatant disregard for customer service, the focus solely on maximizing profits. It's deeply disheartening. It's a place where style trumps substance, where appearances are valued more than genuine hospitality. It's like walking into a beautifully decorated trap. A feeling of helplessness washes over me. And then, there's Ushuaia Dubai Harbor experience. Oh, Ushuaia. The reports are uniformly dreadful. Overcrowding, inflated prices, a chaotic, unsafe environment. Security accused of aggression. False advertising. The wristband system designed to extract maximum revenue. Here's the script. So I've been looking into crimes near Jumeira Rotana, Dubai, and, you know, it's crazy what's going on there. Like, have you ever heard of fake real estate offices targeting tourists? Near Jumeirah Beach residents, there were these scammers who set up fake offices, showing tourists glossy brochures and exclusive apartments for short-term lease. They'd take deposits, like 10,000 Emirati dirhams to 20,000, in cash, and then, poof. The office would close, and the scammers would disappear. The tourists would be left with no apartment and no refund. Can you imagine? Like, you're on vacation, and suddenly you're out of thousands of dollars. I predict the victims were probably devastated, felt so stupid for falling for it. What would you do if that happened to you? And then, there's this bait-and-switch scam at high-end shoe stores on JBR Walk. Tourists would select a designer item, and the staff would offer a special deal if they paid in cash. But, of course, the staff would switch the genuine item with a counterfeit in an identical box. I mean, who does that? The tourist would only find out when they got back to their hotel. When they went back to the store, the staff would deny the whole thing. I predict the victims were super angry, felt so betrayed. Like, how could you do that to someone? And, oh man, there's more. At Dubai Marina Mall, some jewelry shops would aggressively approach tourists, convince them to buy gold bracelets, and then, surprise! The price would be way higher than expected, with hidden charges for custom fitting and cleaning. If the tourists protested, the staff would threaten to call security. I predict the victims felt so intimidated, didn't know what to do. It's like, you're on vacation, and suddenly you're in this stressful situation. Ugh. And let's not forget about the fake perfume stores on Jumeirah Beach Road. They'd sell branded perfumes at deep discounts, but, of course, the bottles would contain diluted or fake fragrances. When tourists tried to return the items, the stores would refuse, citing no return policies in fine print. I predict the victims were so disappointed, felt like they'd been ripped off. Like, who wants to buy fake perfume on vacation? Lastly, there are these pop-up electronics shops near JBR that would lure tourists with tax-free deals. They'd take payment, tell the tourists to wait a few minutes, and then, Poof. The shop would close, and the staff would disappear. I predict the victims were so frustrated, felt like they'd been played. Like, how could you do that to someone? It's so wrong. I don't know, it's just. Be careful, you know? When you're near Jumeira Rotana, Dubai, just be cautious. There are some shady businesses out there, and I don't want you to fall victim to their scams.